I am leaving my fiancé of 8 years. Trigger warning: infidelity, coercion by intoxication, unacknowledged sexual assault, queerphobia, slurs, emotional manipulation and verbal abuse. For some quick background information, me 28M and her 28F have known each other since we were 13. We were best friends for years and we both dated during these times of being friends. I had girlfriends and she had boyfriends, but we were always close. Honesty, I think a lot of prior relationships failed, because our partners couldn't handle the fact that our best friend was of the opposite sex. Anyway, after years of being best friends we got drunk one evening while being home for college and slept together. It was the best sex I have ever had and she says the same. After that we joked about being FWBs. We did for a couple months but our emotions started to really grow for each other, and we both admitted to always having a crush on each other. Everyone said we did anyway. So we started dating. We had what many would consider the perfect relationship. No real issues and our arguments were few and far between, not to mention usually petty. A year ago I proposed and she said yes and we planned our wedding for the fall. So here we are. Anyway, we had our bachelor/bachelorette parties about a month ago and we told each other what we were going to do. Me and my buddies were going to the amusement park. Not going to say which one during the day. Then go out drinking and riding four-wheelers and gators on trails. We only had a couple to be safe, we were by no means drunk. Then after that was done for the evening we were going to go back to my place and barbecue, play board/card games and video games and get smashed lol. My STBX fiancé plan was to go to the spa in the morning, go to the winery for the day and then go back to their hotel for the evening, and order in room service and play games, what I don't know. We both insisted on no strippers. I for one do not really care as I am a confident man and am confident in my package. My STBX however, didn't want me seeing other women naked. I said I had no issue with that as strip clubs/strippers aren't really my thing and same for her. I have nothing against people in the field, just not for me. Anyway, our nights go without any problems and then she comes about day later. Everything seemed normal and we have continued to finish up the wedding. We are getting married in October, so it is coming up. Well anyway, over the weekend, took me some time to process, my buddy calls me and asked me to come over to help him with something. No problem. Anyway, I get there, we work on the little project he needed help on, only took about an hour. I said to my buddy, I think you could have done that on your own dude, as a joke. He says, yeah, but this isn't really the reason I had you come over. I asked him, then what am I here for? He takes me into his home where his wife, a good friend of my STBX, is sitting at the table crying. I asked, dude, is she okay? He says, yeah, but she has something to tell you. His wife just says, I am so sorry. She goes on to tell me that the day of their party they went to the spa and the winery, but they made a detour on the way back to the hotel. They went to a strip club. Apparently, a girl from college my STBX is good friends, who for which I have never cared for, had been wanting to go to the club. She had been telling my STBX that she really wanted to go and the others all day. My STBX and my buddy's wife were like no, but all the other girls were insistent. Anyway, they apparently get my STBX really drunk at the winery and she says verbatim, F it, let's go to the club and see some hot guys. My buddy's wife goes, but mainly to make sure my STBX doesn't do anything too stupid. They get to the club and they do the normal strip club shit. Throw money at guys and drink. Well, her friend from college whips out a hat and some furry-looking thing and says, we have a soon-to-be wife here, she needs one last good night of fun. She then proceeds to get some stripper over there and is throwing money at the guy to give my STBX a lap dance. Like I said, it is whatever, but I do not like the lying. I said, even though I am not happy about the lying, that really doesn't bother me. My buddy says, tell him the rest. She goes on to say that he took my wife into the back room for a private dance for all the girls. Anyway, my buddy's friends declines and goes back to the car. After about 10 minutes she goes back in to see what is going on, and see my STBX blowing the stripper to completion with her friends cheering her on. Now, I swear this isn't some BS crap made up like the shit you see on porn sites where porn stars are taking women. My STBX literally blew a stripper. My buddy's wife took pics and a video to cover her own ass when this eventually came out. No one has a clue. I asked her to send them to me and she did. I told them thank you and left. I called my brother, because he was the only person I could think to call in that moment. I knew my brother did some bouncing when he was younger, but I didn't know he worked at strip clubs. He said that was all too common. He said male strippers are actually encouraged to have the female visitors touch them as they will stay longer and spend more money. He said, I don't like to think about how many men are raising some stripper's kid. This was a few days ago and I have been trying to act normal around my STBX. She has no clue what is going on, but I think she is beginning to suspect some things. We both have very high sex drives and have sex almost every day and we are both very affectionate. I haven't showed my STBX any affection or had sex with her. I told her I have just been busy with work, the wedding, and not feeling the best. Although, she has been asking is everything okay and do we need to talk about something. I have just blown it off as my mind just has a lot going on. Anyway, I have already made my decision to leave her. I just need some advice on what to do next. The house we live in is mine, and she is not on anything. We have separate bank accounts and have no kids. I just need some advice on canceling everything, letting people know, and basically kicking her ass out the best way with the least confrontation. I want nothing to do with her after this and for me to move on. Plus, for those that I am sure will see it was one drunken mistake, shut the hell up. Alcohol does not make you do things without your control, it makes your impulses stronger. Hence the saying, sober thoughts are drunk actions. Plus, now I wonder if she has done this before and I just don't know. I have no trust in her and never will again. I have now lost my best friend and soon-to-be wife. Edit, STBX just came down to give me a kiss goodnight, no I didn't kiss her, said I am getting sick, and to tell me that she is going to see the one friend Friday and Saturday, and will be back Sunday morning. Probably going to take this opportunity to get her shit together, change the locks, and cancel everything, then have my brother call/message everyone the wedding is off. Will be funny when her friend gets the message while she is with her. Edit 2. She was definitely drunk. However, high-fiving the one friend after she was done kind of takes away the whole accident. Really didn't think I would have to share that part. Update. There are couples things I need to clarify though. Yes, my STBX was drunk, but had enough sense to high-five her one friend after finishing. In the video the stripper is not forcing her but she actually stops and then keeps going after. Many think this is fake and that is fine. I don't care. Honestly, if you think it is fake that is fine. I just needed some advice. I thought all clubs were both male and female, and just varied on night. She did not plan to blackmail my STBX. She took the video, which was only like 18 seconds, and few pics. She knew this would come out eventually and wanted to cover her tracks with her husband. She saw that and then ran. She didn't know any of the other girls and was so surprised by what she saw, so she bolted out of fear. I am not mad at my ex, just disappointed. And to those who say you can salvage, she threw that away when she kept lying about it by not telling me. Also, no, her friends did not ruin a perfect relationship, she did. I don't believe the girls wanted us to end. They are all single women in their late 20s for which many think that casual sex is fine. I have no issues with people who do it, it is just not for me. I think some people on here just think that every person has some malicious intent and that the accused is just a victim of circumstance. People do messed up things sometimes of their own free will. I have no intentions of blackmailing her or tell people the info unless she wants to get nasty. Lastly, no, I don't hate women. I actually defended many women from some assholes on the thread. These are few bad people, not women. Now for an update. Someone's asked about how my STBX seemed to be like the best women ever for me, and that I had nothing bad to say about here at all other than this. Well, you are correct. To say I was the weird kid in HS, is an understatement. I had long hair, colored all the time. I wore makeup and painted my nails, dressed weird for many. She was always there for me and protected me from others, as at that age I didn't have a spine. I had a few GF who I dated who said I was good looking but they wanted me to quit wearing makeup, painting my nails, and other things. I said I am not changing for anyone and she always defended me when these girls would talk ill of me after. So she was literally the only person I could talk to. I couldn't talk to my parents or brothers. She was the one who held me and cared for me when one of my exes started spreading nasty rumors about me and she sat with me every night for days. So she was the perfect woman. That is why I can't confront her yet. I know I will break if I see her cry because I will think of the memories we have together. I still love her but no longer see her as my wife and best friend. If she wants to go out and have sex with random people, that is her choice. Just do it single. Anyway, I stayed up late on Reddit and went to sleep on the couch for which I have for the past week. She got up to go to work, I took off today, and woke me up to give me a hug and a kiss goodbye. In my stupor I said love you too, and gave her a kiss. Muscle memory is a thing it seems. Although, I noticed no feeling with the kiss like I am used to. After that I went back to sleep and woke up at 9. I got some breakfast, took a shower, and started packing her stuff up. To those who said I seemed odd and emotionless, well, I cried a lot today. I have been in damage control and packing her stuff and seeing memories of us made me just break. I have been blaring music that keeps my mind occupied. My poor neighbors probably know my favorite music as much as I do now. In the afternoon I get a call from my buddy. Turns out my STBX took a half day and went to their house to talk to her friend. Turns out she is having an emotional breakdown. I am not going to get into all the details but to hit the major points. She worried about me. She knows I am not sick. She knows when I am sick and knows I am not. She thinks I am getting cold feet about the wedding and is scared. She is extremely worried that I won't have sex with her or kiss her at all. In her own words, I usually can't keep him off me, which is true, but recently he won't even touch me. Not even a hug. She is wondering what is wrong and if my depression has come back worse. There is more, but that was the major point. She has no clue my buddy's wife told me, thankfully. Then later this evening, actually just a little bit ago, she calls me to say she made to her friend's place. The conversation was brief, but I could tell she was upset. To be honest, it hurt me to hear her like this and I wanted to hold her, but I need to do what is right for me. You know that sound like someone is holding back tears? That was her. She asked how I was feeling and I said better. Then we talked about the wedding and everything and just some other BS about work. She then says love you, and I say okay and say that I have food to finish and don't want to get burned. She says okay, and I tell her to be safe and have fun. She says she will and that she loves me again and I said bye and she said bye. Edit. Many of you seem to think that she may have been so drunk that she may not remember. I am going to call my buddy's wife and ask her how drunk she actually was. Just got off the phone with my buddy's wife. She said that my ex not sloshed or completely drunk when they left the winery but was buzzed. She said that surprised her that she said let's go to the strip club. She said they kept drinking on the way there and drank a lot more at the club. She says she was definitely wasted but not blackout drunk during the lap dance. I then asked her about possible drugging as someone said. She said that she didn't see anything. Edit 2. Sorry for this but I just miss my fiancée so much. I just wish she would have told me and we could have worked on it. I wish she would have told me and been remorseful. I just want my life back the way it was 2 weeks ago. I just want my fiancée home with me and for things to go back to normal. I'm about to call her and confront her, I just can't contain my emotions anymore. I know I shouldn't but I can't help it. The shit is killing me not knowing. Update 2. Anyway, I called her, took about 5 times before she answered. When she did she asked if I was okay. Like an pissed off idiot I basically just said that I just peachy. What about you, who you now? She was confused. To which I stated I know about the stripper and I know about the blowjob just come clean. She burst into tears and says she knew I knew. I'm still crying because I can't believe she knew and didn't tell me. She said that yes they went to strip club and she got a dance. I said you got more than that. She admitted to the BJ and said that she was really drunk, and made a terrible mistake but didn't know how to tell me. I was like a mistake to let some dude CM on you and then celebrate with your friends. That sounds like a celebration. I bursted into tears about how we have been friends since we were kids, how she was the only woman I truly loved and how I only wanted her and nothing more. She said you are the best partner anyone could have and that she is so sorry and want to fix it. I told her if she had told me from the begging and showed remorse but you didn't. I then asked why are you at her house. She said that this had been planned for a while now. I was like how come I didn't know. She put it on the calendar on the fridge but I must have not seen, this was true she did. I said are you sure you aren't there for anyone? She said no really loud and then I was like how about before? How many times you cheated on me? She says this was the only one time she ever did that and would never do it again. I went how would you feel if got a BJ by some random girl? Would you be okay with that? She was like I could forgive it if you told me. I said let do it the other way. I ate some girl out, I had her shit all in my face and mouth and she finished on top of me. Then I came home and kissed you with that mouth. You'd forgive that, she said I don't know. Just kept she is sorry. Wanted to work on it. I told her the shit is getting cancelled tomorrow and the wedding is over. Your shit will be out of my house and if you fight me on anything I will release it to everyone. She kept saying to just listen. I said fine what? She says she was really drunk and that is no excuse. That I was the greatest guy in the world and we are meant to be together. That if it would help I fuck any girl I wanted and she would let me. I said I don't want any girl, I want you. I just wanted to marry the love of my life and be happy. You ruined that. I said F your friend, F you, and F our life. She begged me to stop talking like that and she was getting scared of why I might do to myself. I aid you only care now because you don't have some strange D in your mouth. What was it? He was hotter than me, bigger than me, more abs, taller what was it? She said neither. I am much hotter she said and bigger and better in every way. I said so that is great to know, you fucked it up for less than what you had. I said oh he doesn't wear makeup and nail polish and probably some jack-off who puts himself in debt for stupid-ass shoes or shirts and some car he can't afford. She said that she loved that I did those things and thought it was attractive. Not likely I said. None of you exes would do that. I guess I am just some sucker that thought some beautiful kind caring women actually loved me. I am getting off and going to bed and will have everything for you tomorrow. Have your dad get your shit. She said I'm coming home right now and we are going to fix this and get things the way they were. I just hung up. So yeah, I am going to bed and hopefully don't have hangover in the morning. Thanks Reddit bye. Update 3. Hello everyone, I am sorry for my actions last night. They were completely and entirely uncalled for. Even though I do not disagree with some of the things I said in the last post, they still weren't right. I would like to apologize for anything I may have said to those people. Even though I may not disagree, it was not right and I am sorry. Also, any people who may have got into a textual altercation with anybody over the last few days, please message them and apologize. This is not why I came here. I came here for some honest advice and a smack in the face for what I need to do. So, please apologize to each other. I can't make you, but I implore you to do so. Thank you. Also to clarify a couple things for some people, I never intended on sending the video/pictures of her actions to anyone. I am currently going to tell people we had a change of heart and are separating. I said that unless she badmouths me or tries to fight me on anything, concerning my home or money, that I will not tell people of her actions. We don't live in a really small community or large community. But small enough to where if what she did got out, she would more than likely be released from her job and her career go under. I don't want to do it, but will if my hand is forced. Once everything is settled, the video and pictures will be deleted. Also, still don't know how this one is getting confused, but the one friend or her did not video the altercation with the stripper. My buddy's wife did. When she came back in to see what was taking so long. When I mean cover her ass with her husband, she means that she knew this would eventually come out. So, when it did, her husband would be curious if she did anything like that as well. She wanted to show her husband that it was only my ex and that she ran out afterwards and went home. She couldn't hold it in any longer and knew the longer she kept it from her husband and I, makes her just as bad as them. As the other few girls were single, it wouldn't matter for them. Lastly, only one friend has called me and I have blocked the other girls' numbers. To clarify, she called me a gay slur for my style choices. Said she wanted her to suck the stripper's D to see what a real man is like. Then I was going to take her out today and get her in bed with another guy to convince her to leave me. Well, she got her wish. I proceeded to say, well, we know why no man will ever want to be with you and just uses you for sex. To clarify, she really wants to be a wife and a mom, based on what my ex has told me, then I hung up. To clarify, I am not misogynistic. My shot was not at all women, just this one person who happens to be a woman. For the update. I called my buddy after I got off here and told him everything. He called me an idiot and showed up shortly. I feel asleep and don't know much after. According to him, early this morning my ex showed up trying to get into my house and he told her to leave. He said he doesn't want to see you and you need to go back to your mom and dad's tonight. According to him, she listened and went into the car and went to her parents. I eventually woke up late this morning to a message on my phone from her father. For anyone wondering, her father was married before. They got married very young and she cheated on him. He divorced with no kids or anything, so it was a clean break. Anyway, his message was very brief and to the point. All he said was that I am sorry for my daughter's actions. I didn't raise her that way. I will respect any decision you decide to make. What time would you like us to come to her things? I give my ex the benefit that she at least told them the truth. I texted him the time to come and that everything was already packed and just needed to go, and he just responded okay. Thankfully I don't have a hangover and feel fine. I got cleaned up and ate breakfast. As me and my buddy finished everything, him, his wife, and her showed up. His wife and him walked up while she stayed in the car and refused to look at me. Her dad asked where stuff was and I pointed and he began packing. Her mother asked if we could talk. I had calmed down and since she was always good to me I said okay. She apologized for what her daughter did and gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek. She used to do this when we were younger as she always really liked me. She began to cry and so did I. She said, it is up to you what you want to do from here. I just want you to know, she loves you so much and will do anything to fix this and regrets it with her life. However, what she did can be seen as unforgivable and I understand if it is. She then told me to stay safe and that I am a good man who didn't deserve this and gave me another hug and a kiss. They finished packing and were about to go when I noticed my ex began to have a crying fit. Her parents calmed her down and she got out of the car and came up to me. She asked if we could talk alone. I told her I will be videoing it for my own safety and she said that was fine. We sat down and she started crying and I did too. She said she was so sorry and that she would do anything if I would just forgive her. I said I can't do that. I was like, if you had told me right after and was remorseful we could have worked on it. But, you kept it from me and continued to hide it. She said she knows, and has regretted it since that night. I mentioned the high five and she said my friends were cheering me on and I got caught up in the moment. As soon as I realized what I had done I immediately shut down. You can ask anyone there. I quit drinking, we left to the strip club, I got a shower and went to bed. They wanted to go to more bars and hang out with guys and play games and everything else, but I just wanted to forget that evening ever had happened. I hoped that I would forget and you would never find out. But you are right, I should have told you. She asked if there was anything she could do and I said no. I asked her, have you ever cheated on me before? We are already done, so it doesn't matter now. She swears that she has never cheated on me before and that this was the one and only time. I may be an idiot, but I do believe her. I mentioned her friend and what she had said about me and how she wanted her to give the stripper a BJ and get her laid today. She said that when she left it woke her up and asked why she was leaving. She told her and she said, who cares, we will go find you a real man. She said he is a real man that loves me for me and I have F everything up. She then told her I was a faggot and not a real man BS, and she told her to F off and to never call her again. She said you liked when I got that stripper to let you give a BJ. She was like, you wanted that? Yeah, and I wanted to get you laid this evening. Forget him, you need a guy who doesn't wear makeup and paint his nails and stays at home for work. I guess because I don't work with my hands I am not a real man. My fiancé basically said that I love those things about him and he has an amazing career and is better than all those guys. Then told her to never call her again and leave her alone. She then asked if there was any chance of us rekindling in the future. I told her I can't predict the future, but I wouldn't bet your life on it. She gave me the biggest hug, and I would be lying if I didn't want to hug her back and say it is okay, let's get married, but I didn't. She gave me a kiss, and then the worst part. I asked for the ring back. She begged and pleaded one more time with me, but I said please just give me the ring back. She took it off and handed it to me. I then told her, I won't be releasing the video or pictures that I have of you. As long as you don't do anything that would negatively affect me, I am just going to tell people we had a change of heart. She told me thank you for being kind to me. Then went on about how I am the sweetest guy ever and how she messed up everything and is so sorry. She then said she would never talk ill of me, and even if she did no one would believe her, as a joke. She then went, where did you get those? I said it doesn't matter. She said you're right, it doesn't. I told her goodbye and she said bye to me. She turned around one last time and said please I'll do anything. I said no, you should have told me. She tried to give me one more hug and a kiss, but put up my hand and said please just go. They left and that is it. I have already cancelled everything and my buddy and brother are notifying everyone of the cancelled wedding. Thanks to everyone. To be honest, this will probably get deleted once I get some normalcy back and will delete it so that I will never see this again, but thank you to everyone. Also, please be kind to each other. This name-calling and battling out one another is not worth it and makes us less human. Please be kind and apologize to each other. I didn't want this to become a pick-side situation. I wanted this to be advice and help. But again, thank you to all. Edit, I know one will see this, I do not care as this venting helps a bit. This morning it turns out my ex had texted me early this morning asking me if I had posted on Reddit. I asked her why and she admitted that she was looking at anything that may resemble what happened to us and if there is a way to fix this. She sent me a link and I said that yes, that was me, but who posted it was not. I don't know if someone had stolen or shared this story, but I am not exactly happy about it, but what can I do? I saw some comments and I am sure some of you are thinking the same thing. We aren't alcoholics. We drink maybe 2 or 3 times a year. That is it. I drank the other night because of a stupid reason and I regret it, but it is done. I already threw out what I had and will not be buying anymore. Yes, I had depression when I was a young teen into my late teens. Mainly once I left for college, it got a lot better and I really haven't had an issue with it. It wasn't until this that my depression has gotten bad again. No, I am not on drugs and no, I don't take antidepressants. I just need to let things settle down. I have already deleted the photos and video. I know she isn't going to push anymore, so I see no issue with getting rid of them. Once again, I never was going to release them. Also, I contacted my buddy's wife to delete them as well and she has. Also, I never thought of releasing them. I merely kept them as proof if she tried to lie about it. Once she admitted, I see no reason to keep them. I didn't change the locks. She willingly gave me the key to my house and she stated it isn't hers to keep any longer. For the record, I will give her is very independent. She never wanted to join bank accounts and she is not in the house. When I purchased the home, we had been dating a while and knew we would get married. I offered to put her in the home and she refused as she said she couldn't contribute to it, so she had no right to it. I will say she made a terrible decision, but is not a terrible person. She knows who sent me the photos and videos now, so I hope that doesn't ruin their friendship as they are each other's only friends now, but if it does, it does. To the people calling me insecure, if that makes your day better, go for it. Lastly, my ex even said that some of you are just nasty, vile humans. To those who were attacking me for no reason, I don't know if she is trying to take my side to make me let her back in, but it is whatever. I already apologized to her for the drunk call and the post. She has forgiven me and I have forgiven her for what she has done too. It doesn't mean I trust her, but I see that by not forgiving her I only hurting myself. I realize people mess up and none of us are perfect. But just because she messed up, doesn't mean I have to continue my life with her. Also, I will be deleting the drunk post as I isn't helpful in any way. Update 4. Nothing has changed with my ex and we have gone no contact per my request. I have been pretty depressed and upset lately due to everything, but I have read some comments on here and I have to say many of you cheered me up. Especially on I guess an update sub, where they take stories and share them there. This is the thread my ex found and sent me. I read one thread of comments by some women that brought me to tears. They were saying that they were glad that there are men who are confident enough to wear makeup and jewelry and other things like I do and think it is sexy. I don't remember the exact quote, but one said that she thinks it shows his masculinity and that it is attractive to be confident in himself, to no worry about what others think, and does what makes him happy. I just want you to know you brought me to tears, and made me feel better on some of my worst days so far, and thank you so much for your comment. Anyway, not much has happened so far. I do have to go into the office this week for some business, so wish me luck. But anyway, this last weekend was really hard. There was nothing to do for the wedding, and since Friday was October 1st and fall/Halloween is my favorite time of year, I was pretty depressed. I am usually decorating with my ex and getting everything set up and ready. Plus, going to local haunted houses and mazes, not to mention spending too much money on Halloween stuff, lol. Anyway, Friday night I get a call from a good friend from high school. She calls me to let me know she is so sorry that my ex cheated on me. I said thank you, but then caught the cheating part. I have never told anyone, and neither has my one friend and his wife or my brother. I asked her. She then goes on to tell me the full story. To make it quick, I guess when people got the messages from my brother about our change of heart on the wedding, and I guess my ex's extended family and friends were ecstatic. To be frank, many were basically saying that they were glad we separated and that my ex deserved better. They were saying things like it is about time she woke up and left his ass, and that then some even said I bet he cheated on her too. I guess my ex saw all these things and then put a big message out for them all to see. I don't know the exact what she did, but I guess my ex admitted to her cheating, and the details. Even mentioned the evidence and how I would never show it to anyone. Then proceeded to say that she is glad that she now knows who is honest in her family and friends, and that she now knows to cut off 95% of the people in her life, not her mother or father. They are not happy about us ending and actually loved me. That really hurt to know, because I honestly thought my ex's extended family and friends liked me. But once again I was a fool. So, my friend said that we are all going out tonight. I told her I don't really feel like going. She said we are going ends for me to get ready and they will be there in an hour. So, I got shower and put on some jeans and a shirt. They showed up and asked what was I wearing. For some detail, I grew up in mid-sized farm community. I have friends who are farm boys/girls. I know, weird considering who I am, and of the more eccentric crowd I suppose. My good female friends and the one's husbands and the other's wife showed up. To say I haven't been the most confident is an understatement. I had nothing like I usually do and just haven't felt like it. They said bullshit, we're getting you ready. So they come in and proc to get me dressed up, my hair done, and my makeup done. It was a lot fun, to be honest. I haven't done this with them in a long time and I really enjoyed our time. Haven't been able to do this with them since college. Over an hour later, I couple other friends and my buddy and his wife show up. My buddy is actually a farm boy, so people think it is weird we are such good friends, lol. They had me dressed in less than gender norm clothing and we didn't even go out, lol. We ordered in food, played games, danced/listened to music and had just a lot of fun. My buddy even said, I haven't seen you smile like this in a long time. We all hung out and just had fun, no alcohol, I'm done with that shit. We all passed out at my house and then everyone got up and left and said we need to do this more often. I am glad they came over because I needed this. Update 5. Anyway, after my last update I had to go into the office that week. Because of my friends and some nice people on here, I felt confident to wear my makeup to work. I don't really know how to explain it, but think Chris Motionless in a suit and tie. However, I only have earrings and my hair is unique to me. I go to work like this and on my first day back I notice a very attractive woman in the elevator with me. It was just her and I. She had beautiful black hair with blonde highlights. Her makeup was done amazing. She was also wearing a very nice black dress with red heels. I mentioned to her that I love her outfit and she said thank you. She looked back at me and said she liked my style. Anyway, we got off the elevator at the same time. I said to her, oh, do you have a meeting with blank? She said, yes I do. Do you? I told her yes. I responded with my hand out and my name. She said, hey, blank, I am Alice. Not her real name. I went, Alice? She laughed and said, hi. Off topic, Alice and I work in different departments, but have to mingle often due to our jobs intercepting with each other frequently. I had never seen a picture or seen Alice in calls. She has never seen me either. So, we got to our meeting and do our job. At lunch we sit together and just talk. I asked her to go out to dinner since she has never been here before. She said to me, I don't think your fiancé would like that. No one from my job was invited our wedding, so no one really even knows I was engaged. Alice knew because I told her. I then go on to tell her what happened and she said I am sorry. Shen then agrees to dinner. We go to a nice little place and have dinner. We are just making small talk when she mentioned my situation again. I am honest about everything and she start telling me about her situation. Alice is few years older than me and said how she had been with her HS sweetheart since they were 16. I guess a little over a year ago she stated that he had cheated on her and they separated. She has not dated since. We continue to BS for a while, then we go our separate ways. Next day at work she asked if we can have dinner on Friday since she is leaving on a plane Saturday morning. I said, sure, sounds like fun. Friday comes around and we got out to some bar place with music. We have food, no drinks, and dance a little bit for fun. Eventually, we go back to her hotel room and talk for a while. Just usual banter, but eventually she mentions that she hasn't had sex in over a year. I didn't say anything. She then goes on to tell me that she hates hooking up, because no guys are willing to wear a condom, and that most guys are hooking up with several women at once, that they probably have diseases, and haven't even been checked. She looks at me and says, do you have any idea what that is like? I responded with, no. I don't. I haven't been single since I was in my early 20s, so no. She just keeps going on about how it sucks and how it's just shitty out there. I apologize that I don't what it is like. She says, not, it isn't your fault. I'm just venting. She said, I am going to the bathroom, and I asked her if she wanted me to leave so she could get some sleep since she had a flight in the morning. She said, no, I will be out in a minute. After a bit she comes out of the bathroom naked. I froze. She asked if we are having sex. I once again just froze. Alice handed me a condom. We had sex. The sex was great. I know it sounds terrible, but I needed that. I felt emasculated after being cheated on and I needed to feel something. I know it is bad, but I needed that. My confidence has been better since then. This was not love-making like with my ex. This was just dirty rough sex. We woke up, had sex in the shower, got ready, and she left for the airport and wished me luck. Even though the sex was great, I felt empty after. This is why I was never into hookups. There is no emotions and I am not a fan of that. That was all that happened till last week. Just quick background for everyone. My ex and my buddy's wife are still friends. According to my buddy, they have talked since everything came out. I guess it pretty much was I am sorry for what happened, but he needed to know. My ex responded by saying that what she did was the right thing. She was upset that my buddy's wife didn't stop her at the club, but my ex understood why given the circumstances. My ex also said that she should have never put her in that situation to begin with. But to last week. Last week an individual on Reddit PM'd me. I have noticed many of you have and I appreciate the kind words even though I may have not messaged you back. I will keep this person private unless they themselves wish to say who they are. This person just wanted to talk and stated that they were and still are in a similar situation. Theirs, however, I will say is much worse than mine. We got into some very deep and dark talks about our partners. We have talked for the last week. There were a lot of emotion me and that person shared describing our similarities, and how we handled them. How this person dealt with it amazing. I wish I could be half as brave as they were. But, I remember one question this person asked me. They asked me, would you be content with your life if she moved away to start her life over or if she found someone else? My response was I don't know, I just want her to be happy. But I know the answer is no. Another thing I mentioned was that she was more popular girl in HS whereas we all know I wasn't. Her last boyfriend cheated on her and she was very upset by it. I was with her for a long time while she recovered. I mentioned that I had insecurities to this person. How I am nothing like her exes and that I feel like she wanted to cheat to get out of it. Plus, now that everyone knows I will be seen as the freak who couldn't get anyone else, so I stayed with her. This person responded by saying, listen, that's what people do. They talk. They talk because they have nothing better to do. It's human nature. Who cares what they'll say? Just do what you know would be best for the two of you. F everyone else. This really stuck with me. As we talked more, they recommend I write a letter with all my feelings and give it to her. I did this. I wrote everything and said at the end to call me if you would like. I am not going to repeat what I wrote on that letter, but know it was everything I had been feeling. She called and we met later. We went to where our first date was. It was a picnic at the park. I know, cheesy. Our park does Halloween lights, so I thought it would be nice to go there in the evening. When I saw her I felt butterflies in my stomach and my head got hot. However, I felt awful when I saw her. She looked bad. She looked like she has lost weight, exhausted, and just almost sickly. I have also never seen her so covered up. She never dressed like very revealing, but it wasn't very cold and she was dressed like it was freezing. Before I could get a word in she starts crying. She started saying that she couldn't believe I still loved her. Then I asked some questions. Was this the only time? I need you to be honest. She said no, she swears. Why did you tell everyone? She said everyone was trying to blame me and make me look like the bad guy, and that bothered her. I asked if she feared me telling people and that is why she told. She said no. She knew I would never tell a soul even if she tried anything with me. Deep down I don't think I could have told anyone ever. She then told me she was asked to resign from her job and she did. Her parents hate her. I asked if she enjoyed blowing the stripper. She said no. I mentioned everything. She said she knows. But after she sat down she froze and in her own words, I wanted to shoot myself. After, she went back to the hotel room. Her friends kept drinking and partying at the hotel bar. She told me she has deleted all their contacts and wants nothing to do with them. Also, turns out she was high. Her and her friends ate edibles hours before. My buddy's wife didn't know. I asked if you had taken anything. She didn't tell me because it would just sound like another excuse, so she didn't say anything. Then I asked why you didn't tell me about the cheating. She said she didn't know how. She said that she knew I would never hurt her, but she was scared of what I would do to myself. She knew it was wrong. She was ashamed and scared of how to tell me. I then mentioned my hookup and she cried a lot. She said she has no right to be hurt, but it still hurts. I told her it was just a hookup, nothing more. She then said I still owe revenge on her and told her to not worry about it. I then told her about how I was insecure because I am nothing like her exes. She said she knows and is sorry for that. She mentioned what happened one of the nights I was with her after her ex cheated. I told her I remember. Basically, she kissed me and I said it was her sadness and hormones going crazy and wrote it off. She said that when she kissed me she knew she loved me. She never told me this. We talked a little longer but I knew she needed to eat. I offered to get her something and she said she was fine. I said, no, you need to eat. I grabbed her hand and said let's go. To say she lit up is an understatement. I took her somewhere to eat and she ate so much. I had no issue with it. I was happy to see her eat. I took her to her car and she asked if we could try again. I said let's start as friends and see what happens. I then said you are going to have to deal with my emotions for a long time and she said she will do whatever it takes. I then mentioned I will call her boss to get her job back. I know him decently well and will ask him. I did and she started back today. Small business and I know the guy though my grandmother. Then later that week. She came over in the morning to help me decorate for Halloween. Come to find out she told her parents where she went. Her dad said, he is a better man than me, and her mom said, if he has it in his heart to forgive you, you better make him the happiest man on this planet because he deserves that. The only issue that day was it was hard to see her sometimes. Still emotions creeping up here and there. But I did my best. We actually were sitting watching a movie while having lunch and I asked if she wanted something and she did hop on top of me and try to initiate sex. I told her that she is sexy and she is beautiful, but I am not ready for that. She cried. Not because I rejected her, but because she knew why. Some other things were mentioned that I will not discuss. We said we will be having friend dates a couple times a week. I know it is weird but it feel like I am falling in love with her all over again. I also joked that if this works we should sell my house and move somewhere far from here. She actually was very keen on the idea. She doesn't want to leave her parents, but she said she will leave with me. Plus, this morning I took her to work. She was scared to go in with everything and I offered to take her. I have picked her up and we made dinner and watched a movie. She has went home since then and here I am.